Today in the news, we got a chopped up laptop on Kickstarter, and Intel is taking its time. What's up guys, I'm Snows, and this is your boot sequence. Let's kickstart the news with a Kickstarter campaign. You know those laptops that have been popping up in the last 2 years? Those with two displays, like the HP Omen X2S, which in my opinion was riddled with design flaws, or like the one from Asus, which has survived 2 generations. It's called the ZenBook Pro Duo. Well, what if you just took the idea of a second screen over the keyboard and just made that a keyboard with a screen on top? Well, that's exactly what this Kickstarter campaign did. It blew through its $5,000 goal, and right now it's at about something like 200,000 Canadian rubles. In any case, the device is called the FICI-HP, or at least that's what they call it in the video. And there are 2 models, the K1 and the K2. The K1 uses a pretty normal laptop keyboard with scissor switches, while the K2 is probably what you would be interested in since it comes with mechanical switches. Specifically, you can choose between blue, brown, or red Gateron switches. Both of them connect to your computer, or to your phone for a matter of fact, via a USB-C cable, and it has 2 extra USB connections. Although you will be stuck with the slower USB 2.0 speeds. It does say that it has an HDMI output, but I couldn't find it anywhere on the design itself. Of course, it has RGB, and the touch display is actually pretty big at 12.6 inches, and it has a resolution of 1920 by 515. I really like the idea, but at the same time, why don't companies just make a tiny adjustable flat screen for your desk? The biggest issue with this product is that the screen can't tilt on its own. You have to tilt it though, like the whole thing if you want to, and then, carpal tunnel. That and the fact that the USB connections are rated for 2.0 speeds. That's rough. So what do you guys think about a product like this? Let me know down below. Oh, and by the way, the advert for this product is freaking hilarious. I can guarantee you that they paid someone on Fiverr to read exactly as is on the script. I mean, listen to this.
You can take it anytime, anywhere. Let you reach your imagination and create infinite future. This is an unprecedented and efficient way of working. It is dedicated for you, be with you in happy hours, across the boundary. Multitask fast processing. It is FICI-HP, K1 and K2. You will have...
What? What am I gonna have? Also, the tagline. Beautiful. Moving on, we got Intel. It's been a while since the company ventured into the HEDT platform for consumers. That's high-end desktop. Actually, it's been around 2 years since the 10980XE, and that was just a refresh of, well, a refresh really. And it unfortunately seems like you'll have to wait quite a while before they release something new for that segment. According to a leaked roadmap, Intel's next entry won't come until around Q2 of 2022. It would sport a brand new chipset called W790, and the CPU would be based on the Intel 10nm process. According to videocards.com, that launch would coincide with Intel's 2nd generation 10nm consumer desktop CPUs called Raptor Lake. Honestly, with how AMD is basically handling things in the HEDT department, Intel better come guns a-blazing. The 4th generation of Threadripper CPUs is around the corner with a rumored August launch. Apparently, it will also sport an enhanced version of Zen 3. If that enhancement is like the 3D V-cache, then oh boy is Intel in trouble. Can you imagine that? That's almost a gigabyte in cache, in L3 cache. And lastly, you know how last week we talked about Windows 11 and the TPM 2.0 requirement? Well, motherboard manufacturers are now starting to list compatibility for their motherboards with the new version of Windows. Thankfully, a lot of motherboards which do have a pinout on them for a hardware TPM2 module, like I showed in this video, also have a firmware version of the security tool in the BIOS. This means that even if your motherboard doesn't have a TPM module, you can still try Windows 11 by enabling the firmware version in the BIOS. The only issue here is that your CPU might not be supported. Unfortunately, Microsoft still hasn't given a word on if or when older generation of CPUs, such as the first gen of Ryzen or Intel's 7000 series, will be supported. Personally, I do think that once fully released, Microsoft will definitely open up these restrictions for compatibility. I mean, it would make no sense if slightly older computer hardware wouldn't be supported, don't you think? And that's pretty much it for the catch-up, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Drop a like if you liked it, a comment if you want to talk about today's stories. As usual, you can click right here to see the latest video, right here to subscribe to the channel. Stay frosty, and I'll see you on the next one. My girlfriend's behind the camera trying to eat a chip in silence. You can't make this up. Eat the chip. There you go.